Yes, that's correct. AF have been, I think, really impressive recently. I've been watching them a lot. One of my favorite teams to watch in the Europe scene. A lot of improvements, I think. And I was a big fan of a carry player, Madara. I think he was actually one of the best carry players from Europe, even when he was, what was his previous team? London Conspiracy?
Well, most of these guys are actually part of, like, actually, was he all part of it?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're all part of London Conspiracy.
He was with Spartan on that team.
Yeah. No, it was the Greek friends. Like, they're always been together.
I really enjoyed his carry play, you know. Even back then, I always thought that he was quite underrated as a player. I think he's very, very good.
Well, I'm glad they got such a good stage to prove it on, and now also in the winners match, one victory away, and potentially they go through top seed out of Group D. But then you also look at OG, a team which for me has one of the best roaming 4 heroes in the game. When I say heroes, I should say players. Jirax.
Space Maker. They call him the Space Maker.
You call him the Space Maker?
The Space Maker support. I mean, yeah, roaming. He's the roamer. He generates a lot of space and at the same time, he doesn't take space from the team. That's what is so great about this kind of player, you know. Every team wants this kind of position 4 player. Right now at the moment, I think players that I could associate to this position playing this kind of style on the 4 will be Crit, slash Zai. Sometimes they switch roles around. Jerax, obviously those 3 are very, very good support players. Like some support players on the 4 role, I think they take up space, so they don't exactly play similar like Jerax, and I think that's why it's so difficult. You don't take space, you don't take anything from your team, but you have to make so much happen for your team at the same time.
Okay. Just as well, guys, because we are not used to setup, we do have Twitch chat up on the site, so let us know if things are going wrong with the audio or anything like that. Main thing I'm looking for is in-game audio, because I don't hear a single thing.
Is it me?
I actually think it's just because it's not hooked into the headset. It's what I'm a little concerned about.
Oh, so we don't get game sounds.
I'm worried that we don't get game sounds. It's going to make my observing a little bit challenging, to say the least.
I will try my best to help you out.
Thanks.
So that
Thanks,
you don't miss stuff.
You just start screaming at me like, "Sunshine!" Like that.
I will try. But right now at the moment, OG has a Drow opening, Drow Mirana, and Adfinan has, you know, your least favorite hero, the Ogre and the Darkseer.
Why is this my least favorite?
Yeah,
hero?
you don't really like to talk about Ogre.
No. I don't like to talk about Ogre when you start every conversation with the game is won because Ogre has been picked. That's what you're referring to.
That's my bad. But Ogre is just a great hero.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to ever say like he's not, like he's so damn tanky. He offers so much in the lane, so much harassment out of the lane, but I'm kind of okay with OG with the Drow Ranger in the safe lane. I always feel like you have issues in the early stages, but Darkseer at least is not going to stop you from getting experience. So I want to see how the camps are blocked up by Adfin and how they stop and keep the Drow under level 6 for as long as possible. Because once he's there, the Darkseer Iron Shells never stay alive in lane for too long.
They need good supports to deal with it. With the Darkseer plus Ogre. Generally against Darkseer we see Oracle. You can remove the Iron Shell, it's very good in the lane. But you don't offer as much, you know, right click damage anymore since the nerfs and the mana cost increase on the flames. So a lot of teams have been, you know, shying away from picking Oracle, but I still think Oracle has a place, you know, in the game when you pick it in the right situation.
Well, if you can keep your draw alive after someone initiates on you, then sure. But I like also the bans from OG taking out the Slark, big hero of Adfin.
The other reason I think it's great is because it's also very good against the Ogre, because you can remove the Ignite with your Fortune's End. If he ignites the draw, you can just use it on you.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very good way of dealing not only with the Darkseer but the Ogre Ignite. Usually when I play Ogre, when I see Oracle, I don't take Ignite at level 1. I try to maybe switch over to the stun, or maybe I get Bloodlust at level 1.
Okay. And when you just let all the Venom do the rest of the work.
Yeah, or Wind Lace, whichever you prefer. So
you get some level of save. Comes through the Dazzle.
With draw, you always want to have that, especially OG. Always prioritize in having like a defensive support. They do this, I would say, a lot more than other teams. In team fights, like in pushes especially, I think you need a hero, like a draw strat, you need a healer, and you need someone who can carry Arcane Boots and Earn. Dazzle is a perfect hero for that. Arcane Boots, Earn, and Mag. those are the 3 items you need with a draw strat. I mean, Dazzle you can carry most likely the Arcanes and the Urn. Mech, it's really dependent on what you pick on the offlane. Do you pick an offlaner that can carry the mech, or you need the supports? The supports have to get the mech, then it's gonna, take some time, obviously. But Adfin's gonna go for the Clockwork, so support Clockwork. Clockwork most likely, I think.
Support Clockwork, or is this the dual Clockwork? Like Clock and Darkseer?
Yeah, Clock Darkseer, then I guess Clock Darkseer means Clockwork's gonna be support. And Ogre will be the 5 position. Or it might also know the fact that they might want to pick Shadow Fiend just for the cogs to give you the soul damage. I hear game sounds.
Yeah.
Did you change anything? Your game sounds.
Yeah, there's a caster's box right here, so I think you can control your own levels as well. So if I do that,
that's nice.
Yeah, now we actually hear it.
A little too much. But...
We didn't know there was a knob to press, everybody. I'm sorry. We are now the masters of knobs. Not a good phrase.
Don't worry, I didn't hear anything. I'm sure no one here.
Yeah, no one's watching our game right now. Everyone's watching America. Which, by the way, if you did want to watch that one, because I know we unhosted this stream. Number 2 was hosted up to the EG Complexity game, and then was unhosted. That one's going over on number 1. We're just down to 2 streams now, as we're running the groups. But if you want to keep your eyes on Group D and everything that happens there, you want to keep your eyes on this stream and only this stream, because this stream will have everything remaining in Group D. Your viewing pleasure. And Group C is the main stream.
Thank you, Toby, for the information.
Yeah, I'm. Yes, I'm an infomercial now.
I mean,
you're very welcome, Winter.
That's your responsibility. You have to keep viewers informed,
Yes.
Another brewmaster thing. A hero that when I was painting in pubs, I saw many players playing the hero, offlane players playing the hero. Especially, I know S4 and Universe are the 2 people that were,
we were also just watching that EG game where we had Universe actually playing it against Complexity.
I think the first time I saw it was Wings when they use it against Warlock, because you can actually use the Dispel from the Storm aspect to deal damage onto the Warlock, and you can dispel the Fatal Bonds on your teammates as well, so it's very good.
Was it Fog that was saying this? Someone was talking about the Brewmaster yesterday, where you actually use the Storm Panda to get you get the huge amount of damage from him with the double damage.
Onto the Warlock collar, like it's 600 damage, and then you can remove the Fatal Bonds with the Dispel, so it's really good at dealing with Warlock. I mean, I guess just OG just values the hero a lot, despite not playing up against a Warlock, they still pick the hero. I mean, it certainly fits the bill where when you're picking a draw strat, you want to push, you want an offlaner that has AoE control. Like the general heroes that you see are Tide / Void, those are the 2 heroes. You can protect the draw, and obviously the Tide has the other thing that he can provide for the team, which is he gets a mech. Compared it to a Void gets a Blast, you don't want to get a mech on a Void.
Yeah. And then you get a Blast and a Void and you're still sitting there going up a Chronosphere with no damage. So just AoE control and
just AoE control, the general idea around it. Yeah. They removed the Sniper. I think one of the upcoming hot heroes. A lot of teams have been starting to understand, this hero is actually great in the mid lane. Like a lot of teams are looking for replacements. You need a mid role that can carry has damage output, and you have some D-push. When OD is not in the fray, or when a hero like say Invoker or TA, you don't want those heroes. People are starting to experiment with, Sniper actually provides more or less the same role, and he fits in a lot of drafts better. I think it's especially good with heroes that can run up, create destruction like Clockwork. Then the Sniper will just go pew 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 pew, shoot everyone down. Very good synergy with that.
Do you think it might also be a ban out against the mids? Because I was wondering this too with Venom's last ban, if this is actually meant to be a support Mirana or a mid Mirana. Because you mentioned OD in passing before, and Sniper versus OD, obviously Sniper's pretty good against OD.
I didn't go for the Storm, the D vehicle for the Lifestealer. They already have the Clockwork, but having 2 is not a bad thing, and generally in the current meta, the reason why you don't see so much pucks anymore is because teams are really shying away from a tempo control. I mean, you want a mid that's able to transition into a semi-carry. That's why you've been seeing a lot of Shadow Fiend, even though Shadow Fiend is kind of, a lot of people might say he's kind of iffy hero, weak hero. I mean, I don't think he's that weak, but he's not not the same hero.
Yeah, he doesn't pack the same punches.
But he does fit the bill of a mid that can carry the game. That's what I think matters most for the teams when they are looking for a replacement hero. Like you're always trying to find something that can allow you to play the same way.
The concern I have is OG doesn't have enough lockdown against a lifestealer. Like right now, you got like
They have a lot of
you got
damage,
throw a
though.
ranger. Like unless you get that silence off, it's not gonna be great. So something with a stun initiation.
Yep. Instant stun is great against the storm. Ben Wu always calls this the storm counter with the stun because the instant stun in team fights very annoying. Because storm and you zip in, you try to throw a right click, try to drop a random, but the stun can always catch you because it's instant. So you have to be very careful in the fights. I mean, right now at Finham, they have a lineup that I think revolves better around getting the lanes pushed with Darkseer, Storm pushing with X-Split push, and you catch with either the Clock/Storm. And your Bloodlust to allow your heroes to run around faster. Whereas OG, they are obviously looking more to Dazzle draw. You're gonna group up, you have the Brewmaster, you wanna fight with the Dragon Knight, you wanna push towers, you don't wanna be alone, because when you're alone, you get picked off by Storm. So generally, both teams have very distinct ideas on how they wanna approach the game.
So one all-out kind of fight, and the other one with great timing, great team fight, great push.
You
We'll
know,
see who wins, and I was warned this was going to happen.
you were warned that the Dota might crash.
It seems it's been crashing on this computer this entire time, so
I was actually pubbing the whole time on that PC and nothing happened.
So what you're saying is you broke it, Winter. That's what
I'm
you're
not saying
right
I
now.
broke
That's
it.
what you're saying?
I am just saying that it was fine when I was using it. I used it for 3 days. I played pubs. I didn't crash. Apart from some occasional lags and spikes, but everything else was fine. I did not touch anything else on the PC. Period.
So what Winter's saying is it's not his. Great, fantastic.
So right now you see the lanes going to be like, I think pretty standard lanes. So going to be what we expected, the Darkseer plus the Clockwork. Olga will be doing babysitting duties on the safe lane with Madara on the lifestealer. So they're going to find a ward that's really, really handy for them. It's going to make it very difficult for S4 to lane. Like the life of the offlaners right now, like, a lot of it depends on getting an early ward. That's why you see so many teams just TP out. I want to get that ward down so my offlane, if you don't want an Iron Talent jungler, you want to be able to see the supports and judge how far you can get in the lane, you know.
So now that S4 loses that vision, like how's he meant to approach this lane? I know with S4 when OG was kind of finding their ground, like he's playing these Clockworks, very aggressive positioning with him, but with now a Brewmaster off lane, like how do you approach the dynamic of the lane? And without vision?
It's going to be tough because Olga's going to be like Olga, you know, you're going to have a tough time. But I think he should still be able to get some experience, which is what that matters most for him. I think his farm rate right now is not so important because they're just looking to get level 6 on Brew. They're going to group up and push with the draw. Like, getting Dagger is obviously really important, but if he's not getting any help from the support, you can't really expect the Brew to get the farm on the thing. So you have to help him as a team to push towers and help him gather some gold for the Dagger later on.
I'm wondering if that's like when you, just a whole bunch of early game items, get the drums, and then just fight, get your money from the towers you take.
He'll probably, I think, just save up for maybe get an Iron Talent. I think Iron Talent's great on. I don't know if you're a fan of that item, but it's
An
okay.
Iron Talon?
Yeah, Iron Talent's great on offlane Brewmaster.
I'm okay with it as long as you're actually able to farm up the camps and there's no one invading you. With this line from AF, and you're running this like Darkseer and Clockwork off, like it actually feels like there's more space to be had on the bot lane. And with the roaming Jirax, you never know when that arrow's gonna fly.
He's not exactly roaming right now. He's like sitting in bottom lane. I guess this is what I was talking about, where if they're not getting him help, he's not gonna get good timing on his blink. So OG feels like we need to, you know, get the blink on the Panda in a good time. We want to push, we want to 5-man.
Also want to keep close eyes on Anna. This is the DK bottle timing.
He's getting heavily pressured by, you know, none other than our blue friend, the
Jirax
Olga.
is rotating over. Like Anna, I think he almost moved like he wanted to start a body block. So Thug and Spartan are sticking around. You wait for that arrow. It's going to fly in a long range one. That's 5 seconds.
they kill him?
Over on Spartan. And this is when they try and create a little bit of space. But Anna, the breeze fire is up. One more attack will do it. And it comes in from the Mirana. So first blood goes the way of OG. Jirax doesn't have arrow available. Doesn't have damage
2
on the
seconds.
Thug
He
either.
might go for
But
it.
will he have enough? Thug is in pretty close. Jirax baiting it out. He hits the arrow. A double kill. He'll lose his life for it. He dies before Spartan arrives in the lane.
What
No experience to be
player?
gained, but OG. They still first
bottom lane,
Wait, what?
Buy back, bottom lane.
They're under the tower. So it looks like S4 already solo killed him anyway. Lifestealer went underneath the tower.
I think that's still a good play from Jerax there. If you were needed, if somehow you were needed there to save the Brewmaster, it was going to be worth it. And early buyback, it's not, it's nothing.
It works perfectly because now he soaks up the lane while Brewmaster's out. Jerax is almost hitting level 4.
What
2.5 minutes in.
What a player. That's why everyone wants this guy on their row. This guy just does so much for the team.
Yep. I was always looking at like all the fodder threads that were coming up about Team Liquid, but really this guy right here, he has such a linchpin, he controls such tempo and creates such plays that now OG, even if this CS looks behind, it feels really good because you got a bottle up for the DK, they're going to go again onto Ana.
That kill on Tark, that right there was so impressive. That was so difficult to land the arrow there close range. And you could see that he was running out of time, Storm was trying to kill him as well. That was very well done by Jerax, getting them 2 kills there. And right now, looking at the other lanes, the Drow seems to be having a really tough, no tier on this Drow. Look at his CS, it's 9.
Yeah, it's not
compared
great.
to the Lifestealer, which is at 15. He's getting pressured a lot by the Clockwork.
Oh, Ana, a little bit of trouble, so Thug and Spartan chasing around. Ana trying to play the right timing around the Black Dragon to get himself denied up, so they wait for it. And Storm Spirit with the Remnants able to find the kill. So DK caught on the wrong side of the tracks.
Bottom lane.
Yeah, Madara again low. Does he just keep initiating on S4? The Starfall will land, but the Rage protects.
Oh, the Cutting Blades.
They need more time. Can they get close enough? The bottle charge actually came from Jirax trying to get S4 in a little bit closer for the clap. But not going to happen. But Lifesteal is now completely forced up this bot lane. He still found 15 CS, so it's not bad.
Yeah, both the carries are definitely having a rough time. I guess this is like Dota right now. It's a battle of who is able to pressure, like all these dual lanes you see, trying to pressure the enemy carry, giving you as hard of a time as you can on the carry roll. Like no one just wants to let your carry like pre-farm, especially a Drow. What? Everyone knows what happens to Drow when you pre-farm. You're just gonna snowball, take all the towers, take Roshan. Game is gonna be very difficult if Drow gets a very easy start.
I still don't think like Notel is going to have such a bad time. Like, it could be so much easier if Fly could keep this little bull camp alive. But maybe next time has spent a lot of time and also investment of wards. Like, he put an Obs ward over here that got denied out. So he's trying to block up the camp. So Fly can't get his experience and let the Drow have all of the lane farm.
This is really important when you're doing some aggro, dual lanes, or even a tri-lane. You don't want an enemy to pull. Because when you're pressuring him, if you allow him to pull, then he's going to get the creeps back to the tower, then you can't pressure him. And the carry is going to get CS on the tower. So that's a really important note for the people out there to understand when
teams are surging in. Notel, great gust, actually pushing back the Clockwork.
That was a kill if he actually got the comms off.
You notice through the Fly holding onto that extra point in case he needs Shallow Grave or something else. Jirax, or they're having another bit more fun in the mid. Jirax has an arrow up in a second, not to mention the Starfall. He'll come in, Starfall kills off Spartan, while Thug was taken care of by the Australian boy, Ana.
Oh my
wait,
god.
Hey, so don't be yet. Look at maybe next time. He wants Jirax on the way back. He comes in between the tower, the range grip's gonna scout him out. Jirax has the bottle charge, but if he goes to bottom rune right now, he could potentially just grab that instead of having to go all the way back. He's gonna let DK have it.
He has a bottle. Yeah, that's really unusual to see support Mirana getting a bottle early.
He did when he went down the bottom lane. So S4 lost a little bit of life.
Oh, he bought the bottle from the side shot. Okay, I didn't notice that, but that's really interesting. The usual build would be obviously to get the arcane so that you can spam Starstorm, get your Aghanim's. Usual build. But we'll see how it works out for them. Rather interesting build. And for Notil, despite the pressure, he's still getting good levels. He's almost level 6. That's when your draw is gonna be able to, farm ancients, farm anywhere you want in the jungle.
But that bottling didn't work the way they thought it was going to. Jirax, wonderful lead to the arrow. Support was there. They're actually rotating under the cover of smoke. So maybe next time in Spartan, in the right place at the right time, maybe they can bring down Jirax. Jirax making a break for the river with a stun. Storm Press to jump all the way over. So the Clockwork for the Mirana will be the trade-off. And maybe even Ana, do they have enough with that double damage roof from the Storm Spirit? Turns to the Breathe Fire. No more supports coming in, but Ana fighting underneath the tower. Spartan's gonna fall. Thug as well. Ana gets a triple kill in the mid lane. They're all fighting into the tier 1 tower. They thought they had it, but they had nothing.
Tier 1 towers, towers giving armor. Plus he has the best item. The raindrops for the early game surviving. Surviving all the spell, the nukes. You get raindrops every time you have a chance when you have an empty slot.
They just fed the beast that is this dragon. Now 4K net worth. The Storm Spirit are 4,000 behind. How are we looking for like two levels and 1,000 net worth behind?
This is bad news because at Finland, like I said during the draft, they are trying to get their split push game going, and giving OG such a lead in the laning phase would mean the 5 minutes is going to come even faster.
Yep.
That's going to be a real problem. They don't really have a...
The Notel's ready for it, but
they don't have
the
any
Infest is on the Storm Spirit. They're here to get the kill. So Notel, it doesn't matter. Okay, it might matter when you also pick up Fly. Fly tried to get there in range for the Shelly Grave. Doesn't actually have mana for a TP. He was short by 5.
Just killed him with the Iron Shell. So couldn't escape there, but right now, OG's still in mid lane.
Yeah, Clockwork gonna go down to S4. The Cogs will burn him out, but S4 just with a simple rotation. I don't think OG really care. Like Notel dies, yeah. So, and all this money, and he's already hit level 6. He's gonna give his team what he wants, and in fact, this kind of works for him. They just go for a trade-off. So the tier 1 tower in the top lane being brought down by AF. They commit 4 heroes for this, while the mid lane with Dragon Form plus the Drow Ranger, it doesn't take long to bring down that tier 1.
They're trying to defend though. Power has TP himself back down here. Not sure if they can actually...
Dangerous. The Observer Ward sees maybe next time moving up, so the arrow flies forward 4 seconds on the stun. And Notel, they open up on the Clockwork with the Gust pushing back. Doesn't actually hit the Storm Spirit, but there's that Storm counter. And the clap from S4. They've already killed off 3, and Venom is all falling apart for him. S4 speeds in front of Spartan, and he's waiting. Clap in 3, 2, okay, split. He finds another target. He goes down towards Skylark. They want the Darkseer, so they use the Storm into the arrow of Jirax. And that's 4 kills in total, plus a tier 1 tower for the first brew split of the game, 9 minutes in.
Even on the off lane, he's getting those hastements here as well. That was, once again, really good teamwork there by the Brewmaster with the Mirana arrow there. Like these 2 players, Jirax and S4, over the last few weeks I've been watching their games. They always display very good coordination with their... I think the one that's most impressive, I'm not sure if you watched that game where S4 blinked him with Bat, he lassoed, and he got hooked out by Jirax on the touch. So they basically dragged the lasso target like 1 screen away. That was really impressive.
And those guys have been running so many combinations with the punch too. One of those things I like about like OG, I don't think they're locked into one style of play. And yeah, Jirax in a little bit of trouble. He's got 11 1 charges, plus his leap, but he just used the leap to get a little bit more distance. Now the 1 charges, spends every bit of money he's got before death.
Every kill counts right now for AF, you know. They want to make sure the push doesn't come too soon. Storm, like you mentioned, didn't have a good early game. He had a really rough time, like a lot of deaths. He's gonna need some time before he's gonna be ready to, fight into what OG has. And this Dragon Knight is just gonna, be a problem. He went for a first item, Hood of Defiance, trying to deal with, I guess majority of the damage right now from AF is just spell damage from the Darkseer Shell, the Battery Assault, the Remnants from Storm. Great pickup.
If he can tank through all of that, he does his work. I know we were talking about this during the series earlier today. Like, what do you do when you have a hero like a Drow Ranger or a Sniper was the example we're using? You create these huge buffers that just sit between, and Brewmaster can do exactly that. So could the Dragon Knight with his survivability now.
Yes,
and building into the armlet, it's going to be a very difficult task to bring down the DK.
And that's what's going to have his dagger. Short while. He's just 100 gold short.
S4 found Madara. Madara's just sitting here farming. He knows he can range a TP out. I think S4 knows it too. He doesn't even force a rage.
I mean, right now, all he cares about, I want my dagger. We're going to push towers, we're going to get Roshan. That's all I need. I mean, I guess you could say that you want to get a Blast as well in this kind of lineup. Dagger plus Blast on group. But I would say dagger is just basically your cookie butter. That's all you need to do your job in the team fights. And OG right now with the dagger plus the Hood of Defiance on the Dragon Knight, they're more than ready to fight. Like Notel doesn't really have. I don't think he has anything yet on the career. Yep, nothing. But he just needs to be there to, give the aura, give the damage.
He'll get his lance up, he'll get the Hurricane Pike done, and then it's just, he's got the distance away from Storm, Lifestealer, Clock, whatever. force him to spend mana and then Dazzle sits on the back
Manta would
lines.
be great as well this game, so that you can remove like the open wounds if you get jumped on by the lifestealer. It's pretty good for that.
Maybe
I think.
smoked under an obs.
Did they see the dagger on the brew? I'm not sure. They probably know. You kind of expect when the team is making a move right now.
He was under the obs at the time, so yes, they should have.
They know about this timing that OG has with the dagger and brew. OG is very, very strong in the team fight, so AF doing the wise thing, trying to avoid seeing any head-on, 5-on-5 clashes. Basically, what AF right now is they want small skirmish. They want to get out with pickoffs or small fight to happen. Kill someone, get out. They don't want to take any huge scale fights unless they have the numbers advantage.
That's pretty difficult to do when OG is going to force down buildings, and if you don't stop them, they're going to attack your tier 3 towers.
I would say that their lineup has one weakness, which is a lack of spam or D-push. They don't have someone that can clear out the creep waves. I mean, Storm can do that with the TP scroll. You TP from a great distance, you clear out one, but then you can do it for one wave. But eventually they're gonna come to your high ground and you're gonna have to defend, you're gonna have to fight. That's when you're gonna be, if you don't have items ready to fight, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. And right now OG removes another tier 2 and they're gonna defend their tier 1 advantage.
Mass TP's coming down. Madara is still on the front lines, and under the cover of Moonlight Shadow, he'll get the deny in the tower first, then instantly into the stun, plus the Gust Silence.
Well done. Once again, OG with the level of teamwork that they are showing there.
Like, how many teams would have just said, you know what, let's just focus on the lifesteal, but Anna, the presence of mind to go for both.
The deny plus the stun, and they're gonna get Roshan on top of that. Just OG doing all the right moves right now, and AF is so much pressure. They have to, let's say, need minimum two. They need 2 items. They need 2 items on the Storm, like a Bloodstorm plus 1 item, like Orchid. Before that happens, the Storm is in no condition to team fight against OG. You just want to farm as Storm.
Okay. There's no way that AF actually defend this.
They
don't have the Storm Spirit. The Storm Spirit is TP's on cooldown.
The Cloud is here. He might try to steal.
Yes, he'll have to. It's pretty YOLO to do it. In comes the Darkseer. Maybe he can back up to the hill. Oh, killed by the Radiant! He stole the Aegis and then back there coming at him! Up onto the hillside! Oh boy, OG, it's all gone horribly wrong for them. Maybe next time back to the Wall of the Living. Flies to Shallow Grave, trying to get out of here, he can't do it. Not with the Battery Assault. Anna in Dragon Form attacks from the hill, but now Thug, he's walked his way over, arrives in the fight, but Anna's still doing some terrible damage from up on the hill. Finally they bring down Thug. Can someone get this guy off his perch? Finally the TP will happen to the tier 2 tower, and S-Force looking for blood.
Arrow.
You've got the Infest, or will it be enough? Skylark,
Arrow.
he's a ticket away, the arrow's gonna miss, they pop back out again, they look for G-Rex, but G-Rex gets killed Ogre with a Starfall. Madara with an extra movement speed. It was the surge from the Darkseer helping him out, trying to toggle his way through, but not with the clap from S4. OG, they fought from a horrible position, but still they come out on top.
Oh my lord, that was such a great play. They even got the Roshan last hit, by the way. They got the Roshan last hit. They stole the Aegis, but they still lost the fight. That was just how much OG are ahead in this game, but that was a big play by AF that would have, I think, at the very least, slowed down the push by 5 minutes. That bought them so much time to farm.
But it still also flagged the fact of just how big that Dragon Knight is. He was up on the hill, they tried to deal with it, the Storm Spirit jumped up, but then started running out of mana.
He might have been more happy on the hill, like, to be honest, because the lifestealer can't hit him when he was in the pit. Like, he was like, oh great, I'm just like, showing damage.
Well, you're right, because then Storm's the only one that can attack, and he's sitting there with his hood up, and his armlet toggling.
Yeah, that was just...
Oh, no touch, does he know? They're pinging like they know. They're walking into the trees. They know! The guns will hit on too! How did they know? Storm Spirit, as well as Ogre, you are gone. They walked over, and this is how they knew. The Dire Observer Ward next to the tier 1 tower. They saw him slip up, and it's being pinged out by the Ogre. There were spies in the trees of the Radiant.
That is really bad news losing the Storm. The Storm is going to be the hero that they want most farm on this game, and him dying like this is really bad for the overall game for AF. Like I said, they don't have much D-push, and Storm is probably the only one that can try to clear up waves when OG is going to force your high ground. So that is absolutely bad news that he went down there. Right now, OG is going to force another tower with the advantage.
This is 17 minutes in, they're looking to remove like almost all of the outer towers already. They get the stun on the Yoga. Bunch of illusions running in, Spartan's already pretty low. As S4, he's got split up, he's ready to fight, and the weave is having more and more of an effect on the AF lineup.
I don't think they should be trying to fight here, but it seems like they want to fight. I think it's so dangerous for them to fight. If they lose this fight, they're gonna get Rex.
Yeah, they're backing up.
So dangerous, but I mean, AF right now, they need time. That is one thing they need. They need like bare minimum, I would say 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes to farm. And OG's not gonna let them have it, so they have to try and somehow get a pick off, try to prolong the game. I think the best pick off probably you wanna have is getting the kill on the Drow, but he's already TP out. That's probably the easiest kill among the cores.
But even then, does that even do enough? Like the DK as well as the Brewmaster are strong to fight themselves.
I don't think they have much of a choice here. You take whatever you find.
Well, they found Ana. Hook shot down, they'll go for it, just pop out, and maybe they do have enough damage for this. Ana, he doesn't have enough health, time to toggle, support, still not here, the arrow flies in, hits on the Ogre Magi. Ana, can he toggle? It's not enough, the Battery Assault makes it almost impossible.
Look at how, there was what, 5 heroes, 4 heroes there, and it took them so long to kill one Dragon Knight.
Yep. He didn't even have the armor on at the start, like that was just the base DK. Imagine what happens once he completes something like a BKB.
Is he going, he might be going for like a dagger or shadow blade. I guess a dagger first, before he gets like a BKB or AC.
I wonder if he even needs it.
Dagger, you mean?
Yeah.
You probably want it to, you don't want to just, rely on the Brew to be your only sole initiator. You want to have at least two heroes that can start the fight, so that you're not, putting all your eggs on one basket. What if the Brew gets focused and no one else could start the fight for a team?
True. But then if the Brew gets focused, that's also kind of what you want, right? Like, we haven't felt his influence at all in this game, but he's been there fly. Like, you focus on the Brewmaster and then Shallow Grave kicks in. You waste all your abilities to stop a split.
Yep, that is a very good point. Like, AF doesn't really, they're all like single target focus. They focus on one hero. Like, the best way I could see them doing it is Cloudwork or Storm. One of them brings the Lifestealer in. Then the Darkseid has to go behind and try to vacuum the Dazzle and remove him from the equation so that he can't get the Grave off. But it's really, really difficult. Probably the easier way is like you get the Storm to bring the Lifestealer in and the Cloudwork to hook on the Dazzle. I mean, either way, it's not gonna be a straightforward kill if they jump in.
Not even 20 minutes in, they've removed all the outer towers and now assault into the tier 3 OG. They've won some very quick games already in this group stage. Looking to see if they can do another one, but Storm Spirit takes back the 3-man wall, the hook shot in, S4 needs a split, the Shallow Grave is there, as Ana stands on the front line, finding his heart out, now S4, clamp and split, looking to control on Skylark, Ana needs to go back in again, even if he starts making copies of himself, but Dara on the front line can't work out who he really wants to attack into. So right now as the Darkseer down, here comes your arrow, but dodged by Spartan, hiding in the trees, but can't really hide when he's surrounded by so many Broodlings. Then up back in again, Storm Spirit goes for it, the stun's down, Ana pushed away, Lifestealer can't do enough, it's a double kill for Ana, it's actually going to be an entire team wipe, you're buyback on the Storm Spirit, but what's he going to achieve? The Darkseer wall's about to wear off, there's no Dragonfall, but it's off cooldown in 7 seconds time. OG still got sustained. Now the Storm Spirit jumps out. Looks G-Rex. Jumps again. G-Rex with the one charge. Stays up. Thug low on mana. G-Rex actually leaps into him. And Thug, he's gonna go down. And G-Rex initiates on almost no life and still works out for the dieback on the Storm Spirit. Now it's gonna be Spartan as well. It's gone from bad to worse to an absolute disaster. OG, they can focus on the racks for the moment. Even the DK, the tick out, kills the Ogre. They've done the lifesteal, another Darkseer back, no real wall, but maybe next time we'll try and control them up with the hook shot forward. G-Rex keep the distance, they've lost their dazzle, they've lost their burst heal, but you've also lost lifesteal. Storm, clock, everyone's down. With no outer towers, OG just have to assault the base, the buildings, and in fact GG well played. Not even 22 minutes and OG take game 1.
I think this game, the lanes just, I think especially for the Storm's lane actually went really, really bad. He was like the most important person that you want him to get a good start when you get Storm. You want him to be able to, get kills left and right, because they're going to be counting on either the Storm or the Clockwork. But Clockwork's not an off-lane role, he's on the support.